All right. So you've got your license, you joined a brokerage, and now you're wondering what comes next. What is going to change, or what is it going to look like now that I'm an active real estate agent? When I first got my license, I joined a brokerage that they offered some training, but my work schedule, working patrol shift and having rotating shifts, it didn't allow me to attend all the training. It really kind of hurt me starting out. So in this video, we're going to talk about some of the things you can expect and some of the things that you can do to set yourself up for success moving forward. Stay tuned. Alright guys, welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. My name is Jay. I'm with the Brandis Properties Group in Austin, Texas. If you could, hit that subscribe button below, tap that little notification bell so you'll be notified when I release new videos. And also, if you could do me a favor and smash that like button, it really helps the channel grow, and I want this to get out to as many people as it possibly can so it can help them in the way that these things have helped me. That being said, let's get this thing going. All right, quick reminder for you guys, if you guys have any questions or comments or you want to get a hold of me, my contact information is in the description below. Feel free to reach out anytime, nights, weekends, days. I'm here, I'll respond. I'm the guy who answers all the calls, texts, and emails, so don't hesitate to reach out. All right, so it's the year 2018. I just got my license. I'm ready to rock and roll. Join my brokerage, super pumped, ready to make some things happen, right? Life-changing things, okay? My broker at the time encouraged us to attend these training classes that the brokerage taught, pretty much 5 days a week. I'd say for most of the month, I mean, excluding weekends, holidays, things like that. I mean, there was no training going on then. But they encouraged us to attend these trainings. They had it set up monthly to where every month it was the same trainings. So if you missed it this day, you could make it next month, kind of thing. All right. I was working day shift patrol at the time. No problem there with scheduling and trying to sleep while I'm trying to do these things. So every day off I had from patrol, because I worked every couple days. You work a couple days, have a couple days off, so on and so forth. So every couple days I was down at that brokerage, sitting in classes from 8 to 5. Learning as much as I possibly could. Learned about all the systems, all the technology, practiced a couple different scripts, and I'll tell you that scripts, they're good and bad. I'm kind of mixed on it. Some of them are good if you don't know where to go. It helps you remember to get the right information and ask the right questions. But some of it sounded kind of robotic and salesy, and to me that's just not my personality, so it kind of made me feel a little like not uncomfortable, just not great about some of the things I was learning. Anyway, setting that aside, so I was in there all the time trying to learn how to do this stuff, and I got pretty proficient at using the systems and all that stuff, and everything was great. The one thing that I didn't get though was lead generation. Okay, so naturally you're going to turn to the people you know, your friends, your family, hopefully their friends, their family, kind of thing, which is great. That's great. However, that's only going to take you so far, right? So you go into just about any brokerage around and they're going to teach you the same types of things. Oh, run Facebook ads. Oh, pay Zillow money to give you leads. Oh, do this, that, and the other. All of it can work. It can work. I'm not going to knock it completely, because there are people out there that have huge success using these methods, right? But for me, I'm still just more of a people person. I like to get out and meet people and talk to people, and you being in law enforcement, you probably have the same type of feeling, right? So as I'm going and trying to learn these things, I helped a couple friends buy a couple houses pretty quickly, and I thought, wow, this is great. Like, this is perfect. This is exactly what I wanted it to be. My goal was to write out the next 5 to 6 years, retire from law enforcement, have built up enough business in that time to jump full-time into real estate. That was the goal. I was on that path. And then night shift came around, okay? When I went to night shift, oh man, I had people calling me at 9 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, asking questions about transactions, like transactional process, not, you know what I mean? And it was kind of like, it was hard. It was hard to balance sleeping, and it was hard to get into a lot of the process, because when I was awake, anyone who could help me was sleeping, and when they were awake, I was sleeping. So it was really difficult to navigate, okay? One of the things that you guys will come to realize, unless you're in like a straight day position, or you have like a set schedule, like a 6 to 4 or 4-10s maybe, something like that, where you have pretty open weekends, you can kind of structure your business around that. But I will tell you that if you start generating a lot of business, you are going to be completely involved in it, and it's going to take up a lot of your time. So you'll find yourself working 2 full-time jobs at that point. So as I went through it, I got to a point where I was ready I wanted to go full-time. I wanted to be full-time in real estate, because I got to a point where it was almost like I realized that my law enforcement career caps out, right? You have a set salary. Yeah, you can work overtime. Yeah, you can get special assignments that might pay you a little more. Yes, there's some things you can do to make some more money, maybe side jobs like security, whatever it is, like off-duty jobs. But the thing about real estate that I quickly realized is that you're paid typically, I mean, there are some brokerages out there that'll hire you as an actual employee and you're a W-2 employee. But generally speaking, you're a 1099. You're a self-employed independent contractor. All right, sorry about that, guys. Allergies are getting me today, so I'm fine through it. So you're a 1099 contractor, okay? You make a commission, your broker's gonna take their split, then whatever your split is, whatever percentage your split is, you get it all. They don't take taxes out. So you figure out what your state income tax is. You can figure exactly what it is and set that aside. My general rule, I take 30% of whatever piece I get and I set it aside into an account that I don't touch, because that's to pay taxes at the end of the year. Because you're going to pay self-employment tax, and you're also going to pay the independent contract, like your 1099 tax. So you're kind of paying twice there. But 30% aside, whatever's left, you can decide how you want to do that. Usually I would take half and it goes towards paying my bills. Then the other half would go towards investing in my business, whether that be new computer programs, a camera, whatever it is that I might need. And then you got to have a little bit set aside for your fun and entertainment too, right, guys? I mean, you're making some money. You want to be able to enjoy it. You can invest it. Whatever it is you choose to do, you just got to break it down, because you're getting the full amount and you pay your taxes at the end of the year. I just want to make sure you guys understand that. So that being said, what I realized is that there's no cap, okay? There's no cap to how much you can make, and it all depends on how hard you work, how much time you put into it, and how good you get at what you're doing, okay? So even though you're setting aside money for taxes and whatnot, who's to say I can't get 10 commissions in a month? 20 commissions in a month? There's no limit. So once I kind of came to terms with that and I kind of gripped that, it's like, you know what? I see an opportunity here and I want to take a chance to go after it full time. So working part-time was great until I got to night shift. That kind of deterred me and derailed me a little bit, enough to where it was like, it made me start thinking like I need to make a decision. And that's only because I liked what I was doing and I felt like, you know what, I can accomplish my goals because I'm disciplined enough and I have enough work ethic to to where I'll put in the time and do whatever it takes to make it, right? And you have to have that mindset, because if you get out and you're not like that, you might struggle. And I don't want to see you guys do that to yourselves and your families. And I mean, we all have responsibilities, right? So you got to make sure that you understand what you're getting into before you take that leap of faith. If you can slowly build your business on the side while you finish out your law enforcement career and you're good with that, that's not a bad option, because then at the very least, you have a retirement coming in when you make that transition. You'll have something, right? It'll be stable for you. The thing about being a commission-based worker is you really have to budget your money, and you really have to make sure that you're doing all the things you need to do to keep your pay consistent, because otherwise you end up having like this dragon tail effect. You're up and down, made a bunch this month, made nothing these next 2 months, back on it, back off. That happens to a lot of agents, and it's all based off of the work you're putting in and the work you're doing. Because if you think about a real estate transaction, what you do today excuse me, what you do today, you're working to get paid 30 days from now, 60 days from now, 90 days from now. You have to look at it like that and build your pipeline to where it's a consistent payment for you. Then you don't have to do that number. You're kind of like this, okay? I got to the point where I was ready to take that chance. I was nervous. I was not scared, more nerves than everything, worried. Like, what if this doesn't work? How am I going to feed my family? What am I going to do? Okay. Well, I got to a point where I felt like, you know what? I'm starting to get referrals. I'm starting to build a business. What I did was I found a large team to be a part of, and I pulled the plug. I retired early, told myself 1 year, and I think I mentioned this in a previous video, 1 year. If I can't make enough money in this next year to sustain my current way of living, then I'm going to go back to law enforcement. You can always go back, right? As long as you keep your license active, everything up to date, you can go back. I took that leap of faith, guys. At first it was weird, a little nerve-wracking. I made that jump, joined that team. They provided a lot for me that I was lacking from the previous brokerage, and that could have, I don't want to blame the brokerage, because it could have just been my schedule too. Part of it was me, part of it was them. It was a combination of the two, okay? But I joined this team and they provided a lot. I learned a lot really fast. It's literally like that, what's that language program, Rosetta Stone, where you get immersive training. It was very immersive, so you learn a lot very quickly. And it was good. I closed a lot. Oh, and let me rephrase that. When I say a lot, it was a lot for me. I thought, wow, that was way more than I did the year before that. It was sustainable for my current way of living. Nothing changed. I worked more, but it felt like less, okay? One of the things that you guys will notice coming out of a career like law enforcement is that you don't realize how much wear and tear mentally, physically, and stuff that's happening to you over the years until you leave it. All of a sudden, my outlook changed. I mean, I had 15 years, so 15 years of just dealing with, you guys know, I'm not even gonna go into all that, but just after 15 years, it was just like, my mood lifted, my outlook lifted, I started to trust people a little bit more. I'm not gonna say I trust everyone completely. Don't take that the wrong way. But more so than before, right? I didn't feel like I had a target on my back every time I walked out the door. That changes your psychological mindset. I mean, it changes your mindset. It does, guys. It really does. And you get to help people still, and in a way that it's just like, there's nothing more satisfying, especially when, like, one of my favorite things is working with first-time home buyers. Once they close on that house and they're so excited about moving in, it just brings you a good feeling to know that you are part of that very, very huge event in their life, okay? And it's not like a negative thing where you're always dealing with the negative and the bad stuff and the stuff that wears you down and it wears on your conscience. Not to say that all law enforcement is bad either, okay? Don't take these things the wrong way and take them out of context. But when you make a change like that and you notice those things and you start feeling those things and experiencing those things, you'll notice a change in yourself. You start to see things a little bit differently, okay? So once I got into the team, learned a bunch of stuff, well, guess what? The pandemic hit, all right? I got even more nervous than I was before because everything came to like a screeching halt. It's like no one knew what to do. People I had been talking to for a month, 2 months, all of a sudden were like, we're waiting, we're not doing anything. And I started to get nervous. I thought, how am I going to make money now for my family? I've got a family. I've got 2 kids and a wife. And how am I going to make money and support them if nobody's buying or selling homes, right? That's a legit concern when you get into something like this. You guys are probably, if you're this far into it, you're probably already thinking that, like, how could I possibly do this when it takes so much to, I don't know where my next check's coming from. You got to worry about health insurance, the things that you take for granted every day. Not that you take them for granted, but things that you don't think about when you don't have them. You start to think about them a little bit more. So when you get to that point, you just have to figure out, and the best way to figure this out is to develop a contact or somebody you can talk to who's been there and done it. The best thing to do is to find a way where you can invest your money that you're making and do all these things that you're set yourself up for retirement, essentially. Like you would retiring from any other job, you set it up to where when you stop working, you're still making money, or you make your money work for you, okay? I will say that coming to eXp Realty, they have a ton of things that are just awesome. They offer health insurance plans. They have revenue share, which that can be a totally separate video. I'm not going to go into that yet. They have a stock plan, okay? You can literally come into eXp Realty, build your business all the way up, and at some point step out of production, and you don't fall, and you're still making money, and you don't fall into that whole. There's a saying that realtors always say: realtors work until they die, and that's because they don't have any type of exit plan or exit strategy, which is, for me, getting into real estate was my exit strategy from law enforcement. Now I'm looking for an exit strategy from working completely. So you guys really have to kind of plan those things when you're doing these things. And best way to do it, collaborate, work with someone who has done it, who can show you how to do it. You don't have to recreate the wheel with these things. People have done it and done it successfully, and those are the kind of people you want to talk to, take advice from, because they're going to help you just do what they did, and it sets you up for the future. Now, do some things change? Yes. We're living in a day and age where a lot of things are virtual. A lot of things, like this past year, I think I've probably done about 15 to 20 virtual showings where I'm on the phone using FaceTime to show a house to somebody on the other end of the line. People buying houses sight unseen. All kinds of things are going on out there, guys. All kinds. So you have to be able to adapt and change with those times. But as far as setting yourself up for your future, those things are pretty much the same. The only difference is most brokerages don't offer the programs that eXp will offer you. And as you start looking into brokerages, you can start at one, get your feet wet, see how things are going, and maybe you make a move. I've worked at this. eXp is my 4th brokerage, okay? The 4th brokerage I've been to, and this is home. I'm not going anywhere. This is where I'm staying. Sorry, guys. This is where I'm going to stay. There's just too much there. There's on-demand training. It's a virtual brokerage, and you're working night shift like I was. You don't have to be in the office to get your training. You log onto your laptop. I'm not saying you should be doing this while you're at work. I didn't say that. Anyway, you can log onto your laptop anytime, go to the on-demand training library, get your training, get your questions answered. EXP is worldwide. Last week I saw there's 58,000 agents at that brokerage now. It has grown and grown and continues to grow. It's one of the fastest growing brokerage. It might be the fastest growing brokerage out there. So I know it sounds like I'm pushing EXP. I just want you guys to understand the opportunities that are out there, because you'll have a lot of people contact you when you get licensed. You'll have EXP agents, you'll start to hear it. Oh, they're just a recruiting brokerage. Oh, they just want to recruit and build up their downline and their revenue share. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you know what? There are some agents out there, unfortunately, that get into it for that reason, and that's their only goal. Gives the company a bad name and a bad look, in my opinion. My first opinion of EXP was an experience just like that. I had an EXP guy, oh, come on, let me sponsor you. Let me get you in. He just wanted to make money off of me. He wasn't offering me anything of value. He wasn't offering me anything. He wasn't telling me anything I couldn't read online. He wasn't doing anything like that, okay? If that is something you guys want to do, I would suggest finding someone who aligns with your same values, who can teach you the way you want to do business. So, for instance, I joined a group. It's like a community. I say group, it's a community. We have monthly meetings. We have private Facebook groups. There's courses out there. It's all about building your lead generation off of YouTube. These guys are working YouTube, and they've got it figured out down to a science to where it's successful, and they're duplicating it across different markets across the country. And they have programs that they sell to agents at other brokerages. They'll sell it. I mean, I don't know how much it costs. They never told me, but it's probably not cheap considering what they're giving you and the amount of time that they put into it. However, you sponsor in with them, or you sponsor in with anybody that's sponsored in with them, and you all become part of the same community. Okay, it's a big, huge collaboration. You'll get access to all their courses and all their work for free. It doesn't cost you a dime, just your time. Okay? Again, we can set that aside for another video. I went off on a tangent there. Sorry, guys. I do that. I get excited about it, and then I can't not talk about it. But taking that jump into real estate, it has changed my life in a positive way. I've got nothing negative to say about it. The hardest part was giving up the security of that paycheck. You know that's going to be there just for showing up. You know when you show up for your shifts. You know when you clock in, whatever it is that you do. You know that paycheck's coming, right? You have that security. That's something that you can't overlook. That's sometimes for some people that's it for them, right? But if you're the type that's looking for more, you want to do more, you want the sky is the limit. Sky's the limits for your potential income, the amount of people you can help, the amount of people you meet, who you can network with. If you want unlimited potential with that kind of stuff, this is a great career for it. This is one of the only careers you guys can do where you can go in and you can get your license in a couple months for a few $100, whatever it is, okay? You get in, surround yourself with the right people, and you can make more than a doctor. Does everybody do it? No. There's actually a pretty high percentage failure rate in real estate. And usually, though, it doesn't come from lack of opportunity. It comes from lack of action on the agent's part. You got to take action. So anyway, it's changed my life in such a positive way. I get to be around for my son's basketball games, his baseball games, his soccer games, whatever he's got going on. I'm around for birthdays, I'm around for anniversaries, I'm around for the holiday celebrations, things that I was missing out on year after year after year. I'm now able to be a part of it, and I wouldn't change it for the world. I wouldn't change it for anything. Just because it's more meaningful to me, and I can still build my business at the same time. I work my ass off. I put a lot of time and hours into what I'm doing. So, guys, if that's for you, give me a call, text, email. Information's below. I'd love to talk more, hear more about your situation. I've had a couple people reach out already. One guy's in the process of getting his license now. Sounded like it was right up his alley. If you guys want to partner, if you guys want to join EXP and build a partnership, I'll bring you into the community. You guys will get the same training and the same access to the guys that I'm collaborating with, because some of these guys have been doing it for a while and they're just great, man. They're great at it. And they're teaching me some things that I didn't know. I'm learning a bunch of new skills every day. So if that's something that sounds like it's something for you, call, text, email, nights, weekends, days. You're reaching me. I'm the guy who's going to respond to it. That being said, I got your back. We're making the move to real estate.